Ubisoft announced that they're bringing their games back to Steam. Ubisoft has been slowly bringing their games back there for a good while now. But their newer games, such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6, have been exclusive to their Uplay Connect, or Ubisoft Connect, I think is what it's called now. It's no longer Uplay. So them saying that they're bringing them all to Steam is fairly big news, especially since they have been they really have not wanted to put their games on Steam if they can help it. So, Zero, what are your thoughts on them bringing their catalog back to Steam?
I think it's a very similar move to what happened with EA a little while back, where EA had said, "Yeah, just we tried with our Origin store, and we just can't ignore the elephant in the room that Steam is the biggest and oldest online PC gaming store in the world. So, we got to go where the money is. So we need to start, pushing releases back on Steam." So I imagine that Ubisoft sort of had a similar situation where it's just kind of we can't ignore all the just gargantuan sales numbers on Steam. We need to do what we can to get ourselves back onto the Steam store. So that's one part of it. The second part is more, this is more speculation on my part, so don't take this as being the truth or some sort of gospel for me. But with the Tokyo Game Show recently happening back earlier this year, and the Steam Deck finally making inroads with Asia as a whole, I think some of these companies are also looking at the potential for Asian markets like Japan and Korea to kind of be potential avenues to get additional sales on PC, especially with the Steam Deck making PC games potentially a bit easier for some people in Asian regions and stuff like that. But that's speculation on my part, so maybe that's a little bit too far ahead. I don't know.
I mean, that's not a bad reason to think that's possible. Here's my personal anecdote, okay? I forgot that Ubisoft releases their games on PC. Literally. I literally forgot. Like, when Far Cry 6 came out, like, I waited for it to be on sale for like $20 on PS5. And the reason why, and this is terrible, but the reason why is like, well, it's not on Steam, so, I gotta get it on PS5, I guess. And then I finally realized, oh, wait a minute, there's Uplay. I completely forgot about Uplay. And, of course, I never bought it on I never bought it on PC because I already have it. But literally, I haven't been on Uplay or Ubisoft Connect in, I would say, a couple of years. Like, the last time I actually sat down, loaded up Uplay or Ubisoft Connect, was to play Assassin's Creed Origins on PC. And the only reason why I got Assassin's Creed Origins is because I got the Yeti microphone that came with it. That's it. Yeah, that's the only reason. So, like, I don't engage with that store. And that was the same thing with EA. Like, I completely forgot that their games were on PC because I did not interface with their store and with their app. I just didn't. Because, like, Steam has made itself the app you have to have in order to play PC games. And then Epic, because my nephew was into Fortnite and I got into Rocket League for a period of time, I downloaded Epic and I still update Epic. That's how it works. Ubisoft and EA, I just didn't bother. Oh, and GOG. I play GOG because I play Gwent. Okay, like I'm obsessed with Gwent, so I play GOG. I play on GOG all the time. So there's that too. Okay, so let me just mention GOG to a certain extent. Aside from those three, I didn't go to the other apps, and they're as good as not on PC anymore if they're not on Steam or those apps. So in that case, I mean, that was it. Like, I completely forgot that these games were on PC. And have to believe I'm not the only one here. Like, I have to believe that, like, if it's not on Steam or it's not on Epic, it might as well not be on PC at this point. So, or am I just that myopic and dumb? Please tell me if that's the case.
No. I mean, honestly, I think that's how a lot of players feel because a great one of recent memory was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. When it had initially came out, it was a Epic Store only exclusive, and of course, a lot of people who are longtime Borderlands fans were just like, "Oh, yuck, Epic? No,
Yeah.
fuck that. I'll wait until it hits Steam." And then, of course, Gearbox reported, it sold okay on Epic, but once the Epic contract is over, we're gonna go full bore and just drop it on Steam. And of course, the day they drop it on Steam, everyone just starts buying it up, going, "Yes, more Borderlands," and it's on Steam. Yes, best day ever, and just kind of takes off. And unfortunately, this problem has been, in my opinion, exacerbated further with the Steam Deck, because one of our friends on the Discord server, she said it best. I like playing on my Steam Deck, and effectively, if it's not on Steam, then it's basically invisible to me at this point, because I'd rather play stuff on my Steam Deck than get set up on my gaming laptop and then have to try to find a comfortable place to set up my gaming laptop just to play a game.
And in regards to Epic and Borderlands, the only time I bought Borderlands 3 on Epic, but only because of a coupon, plus it was on sale, so I got it for like a very cheap price. That was the only time I bought it. That's the only reason why I bought that game on Epic. So that's the weird thing about the whole Epic Steam thing, is that I would think if you were pissed off enough with it being on Epic, that you wouldn't even buy it on Steam, because you would be angry enough to say, all right, then if you're not going to release it on Steam, then I'm likely going to forget about it, But that's not what the case of what happens. They get the money from Epic, they do their all right sales, and then 6 months later they go on Steam and they kill it, which is not the right. To me, that's like a lesson to that company to say, we should do that more often. We should get the money from Epic, wait 6 months, go to Steam, and get more money. Like that would be my business tactic at that point. But yeah, like in regards to Ubisoft, this is the right move. They don't give out sales numbers specifically to what they make on PC, but I can imagine that it's gone downhill since they went exclusive to Uplay. And I think the Division 2 is exclusive to Epic as well, if I'm correct, if I'm right on that.
I believe so.
So yeah, at this point, what do you do? That's really the only option you have. So yeah, it's a smart move on that point. And I guess what's going to happen now is that the main two PC competitors are going to be Steam and Epic. I don't think Epic is going to be able to get exclusives, forever exclusives for games anymore. It's all going to be timed. So this will be the thing that they'll have to keep doing. So but other than that, I think it's a good move on Ubisoft to put them back on Steam. It's really where everyone is. So I don't understand why they gated it off anyway.
To the point about Epic and the exclusives, since Epic does have quite a large stake of its company tied up from Tencent owning them, with the Chinese Communist Party cracking down on tech companies, including Tencent, Epic's war chest of infinite money is eventually going to stop.
Yeah. Especially
if the Chinese Communist Party decides to crack down even harder on Tencent. And when that happens, it'll be real interesting to see if stores like Epic can maintain the momentum that they've had for a good number of years now. We'll see. Yeah, ultimately, I would just like games to be on as many stores as possible, and just this whole let's divide up PC gaming into these little fiefdoms. I'm just like, I hate seeing this.
Right. But I got the business reason as to why these companies did this. They were big enough and they felt like they can get more people on their servers or on their PC app. Why not reap all the benefits? But when EA decided to go back to Steam is when it was like, oh, this is over. This is done. And I think this is the last nail in the coffin. Like, Rockstar, I believe, also stopped doing it. Where are the other companies that put their games on their own company's apps? I mean, Bethesda, yeah, they did too. Activision stopped as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Blizzard on Steam when and if the Microsoft thing happens and it gets approved. Like, I can see that definitely happening. Hell, honestly, I think Game Pass is coming to Steam within another year or so.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So, it's going to come down to it being Steam versus Epic. And, yeah, which, fine. Whatever. That's fine. It was just a bad move in the end for Ubisoft to gate their games away because they didn't have... I can't even think of one game where I would have felt compelled to download Ubisoft Connect just to play a Ubisoft game. Like, I can't even think of one. Can you?
For a little while, For Honor required you to have the Ubisoft.
That's true.
I know one game that did have a bit of a controversial history recently for something else did require it, and that was Might and Magic X. That one did require you to launch the Uplay Connect app in order to have it ping the Ubisoft DRM servers. I think some of the Anno games have actually required you to launch the app and everything for authentication reasons.
Right. And that's an annoying thing too. Like, why do you need to have a DRM connected to Ubisoft when you're on Steam? But okay, anyway. But yeah, like that's the one thing that, like, with EA, I kind of understood to a certain extent because they had games on there like Battlefield and Battlefront. If you really want to play those games, and there's a lot of PC players who want to play Battlefield, they'll go to get that app to play it. I just didn't see, like, does Assassin's Creed sell really well on PC? I don't think so. I think it sells much better on console. Like, I don't see any game on there where I would look at that and go, oh yeah, PC players would definitely go to Ubisoft Connect to play that. Like, I don't see one. I think once and when Valhalla comes out on PC, I think a ton of people will buy it on Steam. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to this podcast segment. The Capital Games podcast is done every week, and we post it on all your favorite podcast apps, as well as segments on YouTube. If you want to listen to another segment, you can listen to a new one right there on the screen. We also do a movie podcast called the Capital Games Movie Club. If you'd like, you can go ahead and click on that and see all the movies that we have reviewed from that point. Thank you for listening, and we hope to hear from you soon.